what a day! What a lovely day! Hello again, guys, and welcome back to another Apocolypse home workout. Today we're going to be training arms, specifically biceps, with just a little bit of shrugs added on into the end of the workout. So at the moment what I'm doing is a big giant set, essentially, or superset, involving heavy lifting at the beginning, but as I progressively get more tired, I go down in weight but try to up the reps as best as possible, and I hit the arms in a variety of different exercises and styles here. So we just started off with a 60 kilogram or 132 pound barbell curl there. The bag that I'm picking up weighs 30 kilograms or 66 pounds, and I try to do, obviously, really the way that I'm holding it there on the outside on those handles is quite difficult. It's quite good for like strongman preparation, because obviously it's not really a bag designed to be used in such a manner, and it really kind of simulates a variation of the hammer curl, so it hits the bicep in a slightly different way to, say, the barbell curl. And now we go on to 28 kilogram EZ bar curls, and again this hits the arm at a slightly different angle, because the way that the hands are positioned, because of the curve in the bar, we now kind of get almost a sort of midway point between hammer curls and barbell curls. Then what I do is, to finish off the first giant set, is I then progress on to, as you can see, dumbbell curls, specifically concentration curls. I start off on 18 kilograms, move on to 12 kilograms, 6 kilograms, and then 3 kilograms. Obviously the reps will go up as I go along. By the time I hit 3 kilograms, even though obviously I've done a lot of volume and a lot of work up to that point, I must admit I could have gone all day. There is obviously a limit to how light you can go, but it's a great way to really, doing something like this is a great way of essentially just getting a lot of volume, but also a lot of heavy work in just into one set. And for me, biceps are one of those muscle groups, because they use so much in just everyday life, that you have to, just like you do with calves and forearms, for example, you have to hit your arms hard. I mean, really hard in every workout to get any significant growth out of them. And using a variety of angles, as I do throughout this workout, also allows you to hit the arms in a manner that kind of splits the heads to, from a bodybuilding perspective. Now, obviously, I'm not that fussed from the aesthetic side of things, because I don't train for that, but it's still nice to do. But also, it's really important for strength also that you add exercises that cause that splitting of the two heads as much as possible. And concentration curls, as you can see here, are one of the ways in which you can do that, because what you do is you start in hammer curl position when the hand is towards the ground, and as I raise it up, you see there's a minor twist in the movement of the dumbbell. And so what that does is it works the extra muscles that are deeper in the arm, adds extra bulk, and, as I say, adds a little bit of definition to the bicep. It certainly helps to develop both the heads in an equal manner, and in a way that doing heavy barbell curls, as I started, just doesn't quite do. Those kind of exercises, the heavy barbell exercises, are great for building bulk to the arm, and a lot of size overall, but that you get the typical powerlifter arms, so we say, from these kind of exercises. They're not going to add that kind of aesthetic that a lot of people want to get, or that sort of peak, so to speak. So this is why we try to add a variety of exercises. Now, if I was in the gym at this point, what I would also do is a lot of cable work, and not light cables either, heavy cable work, guys. But cable work is fantastic for developing the peak on your bicep. It's one of the primary ways of doing it. Obviously, I don't have that in my home gym, and very few people would. So we make do as best we possibly can. And really, the EZ bar is probably, as a result, what I would say, along with the dumbbells, the best way to develop the peak on the arm. But there's no point having a big pointy bicep, guys, without that bulk and strength there to it also. So don't neglect the barbell curls, and if you want the sort of hammer curls or variations of the hammer curls, it's the power bag curls that I did earlier, because that's what adds strength to the bicep. These kind of exercises, as I say, they're almost like the compound lift variations for biceps that you can do that go beyond the more refined exercises as you see here with the dumbbells and the Z bars. Now, I'll be doing obviously this giant set a little bit more. There's not too much longer to go, about a couple of minutes before I get to the end of it. Now, giant sets are a great way to add, as I say, a lot of variation and volume and intensity into your workout. And really, I suppose they're almost very similar to a high-intensity training regime that a lot of people use for weight loss. So if you want to try to gain strength, gain size, but also lose weight, then giant sets are a great way to go. They can really stimulate the muscles into working effectively so that they grow using hypertrophy, but also help stimulate your metabolism also so that you can burn fat as best as possible, because I mean there's nothing much more intense than these kind of giant sets, guys, because as you get more tired and are unable to lift the weight, you simply just drop the weight and keep going and keep going and keep going. And so it's a great way to get the 100% yield, if you wish, out of your muscles at any given point in time. There is no rest, there is no relent from the pain, and you come out of something like this, if you've done it correctly, if you've chosen the weights correctly, you come out with almost what feels like toothache in your muscles. The worst of the giant sets, in my opinion, is side lateral raises. Doing it on side lateral raises for shoulders. You'll see me do that in a few of my exercises, something I learned from watching Riley Coleman. It is horrendous, but it's a principle that I've started to apply to some of the other muscle groups, such as biceps, for example, and with really good effects. So over the lockdown so far, I've managed to put about an inch on my arms, and I've lost 2 inches around the waist. So it's not like I've got to put weight on, fat or anything like that. I've actually lost fat, but gained a lot of size. So this kind of training really has been benefiting me. Now, I've moved away from the giant sets now, and you may be thinking when you look at this that I'm doing half reps. Well, you're right, I am, but of course what I'm doing is 21s. So 21s is where you do 7 half reps from the hip to the midpoint, 7 half reps then from the head, or the full contraction, to the midpoint, and then you do 7 full range reps after it. This, you'll be surprised, even though there's only 28 kilograms on that bar in total, you'll be surprised, which is 62 pounds, you'll be surprised at how much this really burns the muscles. Doing those half reps as a precedence to the full range motion is unbelievably painful. Anyone who's done it before will know just how dreaded 21s and other variations of these kind of exercises are. You'll see me doing variations of 21s in bench press, for example, where I will do it on something light like 60 kilograms or 132 pounds, and I'll just blast it out. These kind of principles, you see, 21s are very common for biceps, but you rarely see people do it for other compound lifts like squat, bench, so on and so forth. But guys, take these principles and apply them to different exercises, and you'll be surprised at how well you can develop your body with light weights, which is part of what this home exercise routine's all about. Trying to develop strength, musculature, and also maintain your gains, whilst in a home gym environment, which probably isn't going to be outfitted to the same degree as a gym. Now I've moved on now onto reverse kills, or really what are partial cleans really here. These aren't the best style because it's a lot of weight, 60 kilograms, but because I'm starting to do Olympic weightlifting, I thought, might as well do these kind of almost reverse kills. There's a lot of swing, a lot of motion in there, and normally I would probably put it down to 30-40 kilograms, put my back against the wall if I was doing proper reverse kills to ensure correct style. But because, as I say, I'm doing a lot more Olympic lifting at the moment, I didn't mind out a little bit of a swing because I wanted my arms, my forearms especially there, to get used to handling heavier weights, and with these kind of reverse kill motions are particularly good to help you get like clean and jerk, for example, and to get the lift up to your chest. Now, this is the first time I've ever done reverse shrugs. It's just something I thought I might as well see what it's like. I've not seen it done before. Obviously now I have. I've gone on. It's actually, you know, a fully defined exercise in its own right, but this was just through experimentation. That's one thing I'll say, guys, is when you're in limiting environments with limiting equipment, you need to improvise as best you can. You need to get the most out of your equipment as you can by just trying new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And as I've gone after the other day and done reverse shrugs again, and I must admit I really got a lot more out of it the second time around, because I learned that the most limiting factor in this is actually your grip, and in fact I've got a big butt. Kind of gets in the way, right? So putting those those straps on meant that I was able to get a greater range of motion on a much heavier weight. So I would advise using straps for this exercise, guys. It's very hard on the grip, but it does isolate trapped muscles also, and really throws in a lot of stress onto the trapezius muscles without having to go heavy. I mean, 100 kilos is light, right? And that's why I'm doing it, because I can shrug anywhere up to 400 kilos, 4 times that weight, if I'm doing it to the front when I'm kind of peaking. For, you know, I certainly do 360 for 20 reps, right? So it's something that you know, I'm not going to be able to do in a home environment. So I thought, how can we make this more intense? Now I'm just finishing off my workout now with a couple of sets on hammer curls. Apologise for being topless, guys. I was boiling hot on the day of this particular routine. It was about 16-17 degrees centigrade out in England, so which is very hot for us. We can't handle those kind of temperatures very well, so I had to take my top off. I was just sweating so badly. Anyway, I did the hammer curls just to finish off on 18 kilogram dumbbells, just to get that's the final pump in. My arms had a bit of a rest, which I like to do. I like sometimes to go do something different and then come back and hit the muscle group again, because it gives your muscles time to recover. Anyway, guys,